Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of technically a new series. Tokyo Ghoul Rebirth has officially been dropped. I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a full overview because I just got done streaming. We kind of did a little bit of re-rolling and got some stuff done. People had a lot of questions that I do feel as if I want to have one big concise video detailing. So first of all, welcome to anyone who's starting out Reinvoke/Rebirth for the first time. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the big hype thing, because we're going to be having a lot of really big events coming up soon, and it is going to be a very fantastic time. First of all, you can see on the far right side, we had a full announcement of the Black Reaper into the game. He's going to be an incredible unit, and I'll go ahead and discuss him a little bit later on, after I talk about the main beginner guide stuff. Now, if you did start the game, and you skipped the tutorial immediately, you did miss out on some stuff, so I want to go ahead and go through the original entire UI. So first of all, when you first log in, you'll get onto this screen. Nothing too special here. You have 2 bosses of which you can fight to be able to get points off of, and 4 exclamation points, of which you can access through another easier way I'll talk about a little bit later. So this map, usually you just want to use it for fighting the bosses. On the first button on the bottom left is the dispatch one. Currently, I have them already dispatching through a certain amount of time, but you use any characters that are circular, that aren't a square unit, aren't playable. They're exclusively for dispatching characters. And what this does is every roughly about 3 hours, you get boosted versions of the quests you would have otherwise to grind out better materials or like characters. So like, for example, if this Ward 11 were to finish, if I go to the third button, Incident, it would pop up here with a boosted version of one of the quests that's already available here. Additionally, Capture, this right here, is only for people, or this is for when you fail a dispatch and have to finish it off. The right button will be to use a medkit, and the left button will be to redispatch with the new characters and instantly complete it. You want to use this quite often to get all of the stuff done as you're able to. The third button is probably the one you'll be using the most because it's kind of the thing that's going to help you level up your characters, as well as just get some stuff done. Because here on the Ward 18, you can see you can get through all the Kagune wards. So basically, you choose what typing you want to do: light, dark, blue, green, red. And you can grind out those for Ghoul-type characters. So for example, Kenickie, Noro, Tatara, anyone like that. And if you have a CCG members, for example, any of the new Quinks members, anything like that, you would go to Ward 11, and you could find Quinke wards in the light, dark, blue, green, and red. The exact same thing. I've been grinding out this blue quest because that's going to be the one that gives me the Mutsuki materials to level up my personal one that I pulled, as well as the bottom 2 are Ward 7, which has the gold, and Ward 4, of which has the books, which are good for leveling up your characters for XP. I suggest when you first start, the first thing you want to do is do the C tier of this quest. Do your pulls, get your characters, and then try and run this to max them out as much as you can. Mostly because it's going to be better to get your characters to level 80, and then it'll be perfectly fine to never have to be touched again in terms of level. So it's reasonable, it works out, and C tier usually can be beaten pretty easily. And that's kind of what this whole thing is. Additionally, if you wanted to look at this, you can look here. The tactics button on the top left of this thing is the same thing as the thing on the bottom right, the orange button. So it'll pull up the same menu that the tactics thing on the bottom right would. And you can use these to extend the amount of rewards you get off of things. So the first one is the amount of rewards that you earned when an incident resolves. So for example, when you finish dispatching, dispatch quests especially, double bounty is double the amount of money you get. You want to use that for grinding out the dispatch version of the money quest. And battle experience is the double the amount of rank experience you use. Granted, you don't really need rank experience all that much, doesn't really matter, but it's helpful to have anyway to level up. Additionally, this one's the second one. This one lets you get more awakening and more... I actually don't know what gold RC cradles are, but at least more awakening is always helpful to have, but you cannot currently select these. Additionally, we have all of these ones, which are just very basic, like this one gives you all of your skills. This one gives you double the attack, double the defense. They're helpful if you're trying to run the level 3 version of any of the main boss quests against Arima or Owl. And depending on which side you're on currently, that'll be how that decides what you fight. I'm currently on Ghoul. You can see here it says Affiliation Ghoul, so I can only fight the Arima on this main screen. Additionally, there's so much talking. I'm sorry about this. But additionally, in the Incident tab, there is an Elite button, which lets you see what characters are boosted during that current Occupation War season. It's really helpful for seeing, like, you can see the original Quinks members, Heisei, Urie, Shirazu, Mutsuki, and Psycho from the banner that's currently available are all boosted. They get bonus AP, they get bonus HP, and attack, so that's helpful. The SR, Heisei, and Kenickie both are currently boosted, so if you get those for free off of logging in, you will be able to use them and give them more 1.5 times attack on both of them, and more AP to both of them as well. Super helpful. Super, super, super helpful. Additionally, Strike is currently not available, but it's the PvP game mode that we can talk about a little bit later in later game mode when they release that in the Second Occupation War. And that's about all I need to cover on this main screen here. Typically, you'll be running a lot of your quests here from the Incident tab, and when you do get your dispatch quests, it can give you any of the original Quinke ward or Kagune ward things, so it could give you like green or blue or whatever, you don't really get to choose it. It can give you boosted books, boosted gold. It can give you a boss fight of Rize, and several others. I actually don't remember exactly what it is, but it's something you have to plan around and get your dispatching done as much as possible, because whenever you do these territory quests, and only when you do the territory quests and the Incident tab, you get points. And depending on how many points you get during a season, you get better and better benefits, as well as you get a higher rank. So for example, currently I have 17,000 points. In order to get the character that I want the most, this white-haired Kenickie, I need to get to 56,000 points. Or, sorry, 560,000 points. So, decent amount of grinding. You have to only run the territory quest to be able to get that done, but I will be getting him. Obviously, it goes to absurd amounts of points, up to 10 million. And the ranking obviously does go ridiculously high as well. So I will be trying to grind a little bit, but that's basically what I wanted to run through for the beginner's guide of this game, and kind of what you will be doing when you first start. If you guys are curious as to what I was rerolling for earlier, because I was trying to do that on stream for about 3.5, 4 hours, I was trying to reroll exclusively for these characters here, because only 2 of these characters are completely future-proof for the entirety of the rest of this game. Shirazu, Psycho, and Urie aren't that great of SSRs. They don't really have this big hard carry version to them. They don't have like these super cool skills. They don't have these crazy pop-offs. However, the light Heisei and the blue Mutsuki that are currently on this banner are the ones that are future-proof. The light Heisei, his skill gives a 1.75 times attack buff to everyone in the front row, and does a pretty decent amount of durability damage. He'll be good for any circumstance that you need to run a boss quest. So if you get him, he is going to be fantastic, and I seriously do suggest trying to gun for that. However, secondarily, the other one that's viable is Mutsuki. Mutsuki is a character who's blue. She's kind of focused on giving guard and supports to friendlies. So for example, she gets a 20% guard chance to all characters in the front row. She's good for trying to avoid dying on quests. Granted, if you do get the Black Reaper that's currently announced for the game, you're probably not going to need Mutsuki all that much, so kind of try and plan around that. Currently, the only character in the game that is good is the Heisei. In terms of banners right now, there will be festival units that drop a little bit later, and I will be talking about that once they do drop that banner. But for right now, all the premiums that are currently in the game and all the ones that are currently available, I do not suggest pulling on anyone aside from the light Heisei. Everyone else is kind of lackluster. And yeah, that's about all I wanted to cover right here. I just kind of want to go through all of that. So if you are re-rolling, try and go for that. And ooh, actually, since this is a beginner's guide and stuff like that, I probably should go over upgrading characters as well. So if you go to the upgrade tab here, you can see that I already started working on this Mutsuki. And you can see that she has 4 skills that aren't unlocked yet, and a locked skill in the main category. Now there are 2 different versions of improving a character. One is upgrading the weapon of the character and going through the upgrade tiers here. And for example, the first upgrade would give her plus 2 AP. The second upgrade would give her plus 300 attack. The next one would give plus 300 defense, and so on all the way up, and they get stat increases as they go on throughout their tree. And usually the fourth last thing on their tree is the main thing they want to go for. So, for example, Mutsuki gets evade up 20%. So, that's a 20% evasion rate constantly on any attack. And then there also is a second version of kind of planning around leveling up characters, because there also is mastery. Mastery is based on leveling up characters' skill level, so you have to put dupes of the character into themselves to be able to get this upgraded. Usually you want to say this for characters that are super good. Heisei, for example, the Ghoul Heisei I was talking about. Basically just characters that are Fess. But if you do get dupes of Mutsuki, you can do 20%, and you get, basically just increases the ability and the buff that it gives to you on your squad. For example, it gives 20% for 3 turns, and 0.8 attack to 1 enemy for 3 turns. Or attack down to 1 enemy. But if you get to level 2, it's 0.7 times attack to 1 enemy. And so on all the way down to the bottom one, which is half the attack of the enemies, 30% guard rate, and you also get this, which is reduce incoming skill damage by 30%, which is a flat cut of any skill that the opponent uses on you. So, it is helpful. But yeah, so if you do get any dupes of your characters, you can use it like that. You would go into here, to character, and just put the dupe. I don't actually have the ability to put any into this, but you would just put the dupe into the character like that. To level up characters with your books, you just use this. Put all the books into there, and you're like, wow, successful upgrade, nice. And if you are trying to get characters upgraded without getting dupes of them, you can use the stimulants to get 1% for each pill you use. And the pill counts for 1%, and every time you use a dupe of a character, it gives you 20% into that character. So like, for example, if I gave a Mutsuki to this Mutsuki, she would get up to level 2 and 20%. You would want to get 20 pills to get someone up to 1 skill upgrade, so typically you want to save it for around that point, but yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff you have to try and focus on. Okay, and now that I've set that up, I actually am recording this after I finished that video because I wanted to go ahead and put an extra section in here anyway to discuss some of the gameplay elements that I did end up not covering in the original video that I did record for the beginner's guide. Because, like, I could see myself being very confused if I... Oh, hiccups, why? If I didn't know what I was doing, I could see myself being very confused, so I want to go through this and show exactly what's here. So you can go ahead and swap out and everything, everyone knows what that basically means. But what I want to show is that every 5th attack on this game, you get 2 times the skill charge. So you want to try and plan around having every 5th hit being your main damage dealer, the one that you want the skill of that turn. If you want to get a buff off, you would want to give the skill charge to Heisei. If you want to get Mutsuki's guard, you would want to do all of the attacks and have Mutsuki get every 5th attack. So you have to plan around that with your team and try and do that. However, additionally on top of that, if I attack here, you can see that I have the damage times 1.05 on the top right. I just want to point out that that does go up to 1.5 times and maxes out at 50 times in the combo. So you kind of want a gun for that if you're trying to get the most damage out of a combo when you're going. However, Mutsuki here is going to inflict break. When you break someone, your entire party gets all of their AP back for free. And when you get your AP back, you're able to do the skill chart even further. So obviously I'm going to do the exact same thing I did last time and pump up Mutsuki's skill. And you can see I could attack the middle guy and kill him. However, I personally would want to attack 3 times on the guy on the right, swap my Heisei in on the left, and break again so I can get even more damage off. So it's kind of planning around that and trying to get that done. And I'd say trying to pop a buff on your entire team and have constantly at least something assisting you is super helpful. Also, this SR Heisei that's currently available, his skill doesn't do any damage to enemy team. However, his actual skills ability gives 1.25 times to attack and defense. So it is pretty important. You also see that I'm at damage times 1.5 now, so yeah. See, I do a lot of this in my head and kind of do that, but it is harder to convey it via gameplay, so I did want to explain this throughout the guide. And additionally, I wanted to talk about Kenickie because he is a special casing. Certain units, this mask Kenickie, the purple one with the jacket, the Fess Ammon, and several other units have a thing called Awakening. Awakening is you can swipe downwards when your skill is charged, and he'll awaken and get more damage and improve his skill, while also getting like a new art around him. His 3D model will get something added to it. And if I actually do this and do that, I can try and plan around getting Kenickie's skill off here. And that's a good plan, I'd say. Noro, you can go in and suck that guy real hard. That's cool. And we're going to try to get this done and get Kenicky's skill off while he's awakened. Also, the block rate, what I did want to mention is it is just a flat, guaranteed rate of 20%. So, think of it like this. Every time they attack you, they roll a dice. And if it's a 1 or a 2, you don't get hit. That's basically what Mutsuki's guard is like. And it's super helpful, especially when Mutsuki's final 10-10 skill gives her 20% evasion, because that's also a second dice roll being like, okay, well, you hit me this time, but what about this dice roll? So it's helpful to stack those, and that's why Black Reaper's going to be so good, because he's at 30% dodge and guard rate on his skill, while also doing 10 durability damage and guaranteeing break on almost every enemy. It's also an AoE. So he's going to be a huge hard carry character. It's going to be great. I'm super happy for it. Also, I'm just going to wait this turn. I'm good on trying to keep on gunning for damage. Because sometimes you do need to wait it out and save your swaps, because you only have 3 swaps, and their swaps do replenish 1 every turn, so you kind of want to plan around having that for the big turns you can use your breaking things. Alright, Kenickie, let's see your awaken skill, because I think you have like a big circle tendril fancy thing. Nice. And yeah. Yeah, you can definitely see why I enjoy the gameplay quite a bit, because there is a lot of depth to it, and a lot of kind of cycles you need to try and get the habit of getting down. I don't know. I like collection quite a bit as well, so it's a game that I personally really enjoy, and I hope that you guys out there who are starting the game for the first time will enjoy it as much as I do. I don't know how to like spread the positivity as much as I can, but I'm trying to. It's a good game. I hope people like it. Alright, Mutsuki, we're gonna try and break with you. Though apparently it just doesn't work! Jeez! Here, I'm gonna swap to fighting this guy. So I'm gonna try to get Mutsuki's skill off. I guess I'll just pop it. Why not? That's fine. The thing is, Mutsuki also gives an attack down to the enemies, so it's good to use it on the character that you're trying to fight the most. For example, 10 drill on Amon. It's actually really fitting. Especially because it's the meat pole Amon. And nice. Another break bites the dust, and I actually am going to try to use this chance to charge Kenicky's skill. Because it is being quite helpful recently. We also already popped the SR Heisei's buff, so we shouldn't take too much damage this turn. And you can see the giant red text that says guard. That means the 20% that I had for Mutsuki did end up working. 1, 2, 3, 4, pop. And I'm gonna pop Mutsuki's buff as well. Sounds good to me to set off a party. Nice. Swap back to Heisei, because why not? And then I guess we'll just... See, I could awaken again, but you know what? I'll show this. So when he's not awakened, his skill is slightly different. He seems far more passive. His damage is far less, so you can see that it is worth it to awaken most of the time when you do have your skill ready. You know what? Let's end it with Noro. I don't even know if this is going to get the kill, but we'll try. Go, my boy! I did like nothing. God damn it. We did it though. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Likely you're not going to see me personally pulling on this account until the Fest Amon and Fest Arima come around. We'll probably do all the steps on that banner, try and get probably the Amon most of all, and then try and save up for waiting for the Black Reaper afterwards. Because that kind of is the main priority right now. Save all of your gems for when the festival banners come around, because festival versions of characters are easily the most important and best versions of the units inside this game. They're kind of the strongest in general, so yeah. Thank you for watching, hopefully you guys enjoy, and have a good time. Welcome to Rebirth. I'll see you guys next time.